This is Paul. Yes. There's what's known as to knowingly misrepresent, to intentionally falsify facts in order to gain something for one's benefit, to defraud. Oh. And then there's that title. Oh. Title insurance that a purchaser of property takes out in order to insure himself against loss should the title in some way prove defective. But then there's the title defective in form, a title bearing some defect on its face, not necessarily meaning that the title itself is defective. Yes, yes. Then there's the legal title, the ownership of property that's recognized as sufficient under the rules of law, is distinguished from title recognized under rules of equity. Oh. Then the tombstone ad, a public announcement of the purchase or sale of securities in a corporation. Oh. Now, I know this knowingly misrepresenting the facts, the falsifying of the address of the court official in order to defraud me and my family of our benefits. Ooch. Now, excuse me. Yes. Yesterday, I was talking to the nation's building inspectors. Yes. It seemed that somebody thought that they could sell a piece of property that had an additional room underneath it without a permit. Ooch. Let's say you're a title insurance company. Pooch. You're one of these title companies? Yes. Well, I went through them. Yes. And I wanted to get every employee of every title company of the United States that does the research of the actual title of the property that's going to transfer to the new owner's name? Yes, yes, yes. Now, quite often you do an inspection during the sale of property? Yes. And you didn't tell them that you decided to add that extra room underneath the house? Pooch, so you could keep your dog? Ouch! Now, that could cause into question a lot of lawsuits about the building of anything where you defraud the United States government of their permitting fees. Ooh. Now, when you go through all the title companies of this great nation, Pooch, and all of those that said, well, it doesn't matter. Oh. Sure, we'll insure your title, no problem. Pooch, we'll transfer ownership without an actual inspection, knowing what you know. Choo-choo. It's kind of like getting married, right? I got married in Kosovo. Yes. Heidi had been married twice before. And I accepted her as she is, wanting to be married, that I did, and I wanted to have a big family. I was working at Washington Mutual at the time. Yes. And we were doing pretty well for ourselves. Heidi, well, she completed her degree from Peninsula College and then it went on. And when Zachary was born, she got an organizational management degree from Northwest University. Yes. I have the same degree. Yes. Well, later on in the marriage, really when we got to Guam, after we'd lived in Sequim for about, must have been 5 years. Yes. And then we bought a house from across from the Washington State School for the Blind so that Jessica could go to school there. Yes. Well, we went through the credit crisis and we lost our home to foreclosure. Oh my gosh. And it was one of those where somebody foreclosed and then 3 months later they decided to take a $45,000 loss. And I've been wanting to file a few lawsuits, and I wanted to use the actual court system of the United States. Yes. But you're that sheriff or cop that has to fuck the newlyweds. Pooch. Could you get me the marriage licenses of every employee of every title company where we don't talk about certain things and you intentionally misrepresented who I am as a citizen of the United States? You refuse to give me my sons. Now I'm going to need the title insurance of every property that has been bought or sold by every oath of office, every law enforcement officer, all the partners of the Federal Law Enforcement Center. Yes! Yes! And then the actual title insurance of all of those that are judges and justices that thought that, well, what I do as a judge doesn't really affect anybody, but it does, doesn't it? Do you understand how the judicial system works? You fuck up one individual's life, you could fuck them up for the rest of their life. Now, I know You don't care about Americans, Pooch. But I'm going to look at every property that you've owned for the last 30 years. And if I find anything under any property that you as an oath did own and you did knowingly transfer in ownership to somebody else, because I'm going to sue you for the actual insurance!